Failure. It's not something that you plan for. It's not something that you see coming. And it is most certainly not something you expect when everything's going good. When all your plans are succeeding, when everybody's hanging out with you, class is going great, you're making money. But let me assure you, everybody in here is going to fail at some time. It's going to happen. But how you deal with that failure, how you pick yourself up after that failure occurs, is what makes you a person. It defines you as a human being. And those actions will stay with you for a lifetime. I didn't always know this. I didn't know what life had for me. I didn't know what curveballs were going to come my way. Let me take you back to my senior year. Some of you right now are seniors out there, some juniors, right? Did the same stuff, took those AP courses, being a rock star, did good, got those grades, varsity volleyball captain, mock trial, did all of that stuff. Did independent filming as well. I loved it, right? Came time to apply for college, sent out all the applications, didn't get denied once. I was like, how could I fail? Everything's going great. I'll pick whatever college I want to go to. It'll be fine. Graduate high school, go to prom, grad night, everything's good, right? 2 weeks after I graduated, my family decides let's have a powwow, let's sit down together, right? Nobody knows what's going on. I have a younger sister that at the time was 14, older brother's about 20, I just turned 18, right? My parents say, you know what? We're not going to be together anymore. That's it. So my mom says, I'm going to take your sister and we're going to move out of state. My brother and I had actually already planned to move in together. I was going to go to UCSD, so we're just looking at each other, what? And my dad was going to live by himself, basically, right? So I'm thinking to myself, I'm still trying to be positive, and I think, okay, well, what do? Do I go to college? Do I keep pursuing that engineering degree? Do I stay at home? And, my family says, just go. It'll be fine. We'll figure it all out, right? So I go to school, but everything wasn't fine, right? I'm getting phone calls left and right. Mom said this, Dad said this, what's going on here, right? And I'm thinking to myself, okay, I could be that shoulder for them to cry on. I'll be that person. That's what you are, right? Family's your heart and your soul. You are there for them. So what do? I could do that homework assignment later, it's fine. I got all A's in calculus and physics, no big deal. Put it to the side, right? I didn't get all A's. The grades started going like this, right? Did the phone calls stop from the family? No, still got to be that rock. So then I get a test coming in. And I fell asleep during my chemistry final, just so exhausted. Just imagine yourself sitting in this classroom and you fall asleep during your final exam. Didn't do so hot. And the grades kept going. I keep failing. And things start to die down with my family. And I said, okay, here's that glimmer of hope. I'm gonna pick myself up now, and I'm gonna get out there. I still don't really deal with anything. I'm just gonna push through it, right? And so what ends up happening is the relationship that I'm in at the time becomes very toxic, right? So right as this glimmer of hope is happening, this moment of maybe I could do something, get back into classes, get those A's, becomes very toxic, very abusive relationship, and I start to retreat. Again, no longer dealing with anything, no longer going to classes, continuing to fail. My counselor pulls me in and says, you know what, look, I see you're doing really well in math still. I don't really know what's going on in all these other classes, so maybe you should switch your degree. And I said, oh, okay, there's that light of hope again. I'm going to change from engineering to mathematics. I love mathematics. That's great, right? So I've kind of have this failure, but I'm going to try to overcome it, right? And I said, you know what? I need a fresh start. I'm going to move back in with my dad. I'm going to go to CSUSB, right? It's over by my hometown. I'm going to do better. Everything's going to be great. Everything wasn't great. We keep going down. I start to work because my dad's still not okay. I start to say, all right, I gotta work 30 hours. Bills aren't paid. I gotta work 40 hours. Bills aren't paid. 50, right? Am I going to school? Is there any time to go to class? No. I continued to fail. And you know what I think to myself? Okay, I failed this assignment. I forget to turn it in. It's okay, next time. Next time. Then I start to fail a test. Okay, next time I'll do better. Okay, next time. Then I fail a class. And I say, next time? Next time will it be okay? It should be okay, yeah? It should be okay. Next time never comes. There's never that next better time. Because Cal State San Bernardino says, you're not good enough to be here anymore. We don't want you. You're not very scholarly. You're not very academic. You need to leave. So I get kicked out of school. And I am devastated. I am embarrassed from how far that I've fallen from being that rock star in high school to just plummeting. And I continue to fail. And I say to myself, well, fine. If school doesn't want me, I don't want them. I'm gonna go and I'm just gonna submerge myself in work. And I'm gonna keep working. Once in a while I go and I attend a class at a community college and I say, okay, maybe I'll pick myself up. Maybe I'll go back and I start to kind of feel that little umph, that little spark that you get when you start to feel, okay, I'm gonna reach a goal. I'm gonna do something. And then life hits you with that curveball again. Life just keeps coming. And I get a phone call one day at work. And this is years after I've gotten kicked out of San Bernardino. And I get this phone call from work and they say, Alex, you need to come home right now. Your brother had a seizure and we don't know what's wrong with him. And at that moment, because literally I had an appointment later that day to go and plead my case and do my stuff, I rush out the door and I go home. And nobody knows. I'm trying to call and figure out. And I've never seen my brother that way before. And you're just, here's life again. And we find out that he has cancer. And a tumor has grown in his brain. And they're worried. They don't know what's going to happen. And so still, again, just pushing all of my stuff to the side and watching my brother. This man is a mentor in my life. And I watched him pick himself up from not being able to speak, not remembering what a word was. He couldn't even tell me the sunglasses on my head, the word sunglasses. And I watched this man, my best friend of my whole life, pick himself up and not fail and not give up. And he worked hard to be stronger, to learn how to talk again, word association, to remember where he lived. He couldn't even tell you the cities from here to Bloomington, and there's only 2. And I watched him, but I was still so afraid. I was very afraid to go back to school still. I still couldn't do it. Even though he was picking himself up from failure, I couldn't do it. It wasn't until I met my would-be husband and we started dating, and he comes out of the military and he starts going back to school. I said, yeah, you should go back to school. Why not? You took a couple classes before the Army, go back in. We're just sitting at each other talking. He's gone to school for a couple quarters. And he looks at me and he says, if an artist can go back to school, why can't a mathematician? And I said, why can't I go back to school? I know it's been a long time. It's been 10 years now. It was a very long time since I'd gone back. And I said, you know what? It is time for me to go back. It is time for me to not fail anymore. So you know what I did? I got a speech ready because I wasn't going to let Cal State San Bernardino tell me no. I'm going to show them how good that I am. I'm going to show them how much I had grown, how successful I had become, and how mature I had been. So I wrote that speech, stayed up all night practicing it, had it going. Go to that dean of admissions. And I sit there and I pour my heart and soul out to this man. And I tell him everything. And you know what that man told me? He said, welcome to Cal State San Bernardino. We love to have you. We love to have you. That's right. That's right. I didn't stop there. I worked hard those couple of quarters. I got my bachelor's degree in mathematics. Didn't stop there. I said, let's keep going. I want to help others. I want to spread that word of not to fail and not to give up. So I got my degree in master's in mathematical education, got my teaching credential. Didn't stop there because I still want to change the world. Kept pursuing, kept going more. And I stand before you right now, 6 months away from obtaining my doctorate in education and curriculum instruction. Thank you. Thank you. You know, I didn't know what life had in store for me. I didn't know there would be so many curveballs along the way. I didn't know I was going to come back to education. I really had no idea. You know, but when life hits you with those curveballs, when life keeps coming at you, when you are in that spot where you just don't know, keep trying. The worst thing that you can do is stop trying, right? Abraham Lincoln once said, you know, my greatest concern is not that you failed, but that you are content with failure. And at my darkest moment, I was content with failure. And I realized after that I would no longer be content with failure. I would no longer accept anything less than success, right? So when life hits you hard again, don't give up, keep trying. Honestly, failure is just another opportunity to be better the next time. Believe me, I know.